Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to today's episode of the Sahur Kitchen. Ramadan is coming, Ramadan is here. Subhanallah. And the days are already ticking. The clock is ticking. And if you haven't even settled into Ramadan, before you know it, snap, snap, and it's over. Subhanallah. Anyways, today's Sahur Kitchen, as I did promise, this year it will be a blast, inshallah ta'ala. We have several segments cooked up for you: plates of inspiration, kiddies kitchen, we have chef specialty, we have cocktail boulevard, we have kitchen hacks, subhanallah. So I'm going to leave you now with a plate of inspiration. It's always served hot. When I come back, my guest is ready. Our topic is hot and sizzling. You don't want to miss any part of this show. Stay tuned. You're welcome back. If you're just joining us, it's Sahur Kitchen, and today in the kitchen, inshallah ta'ala, I have joining us today Mrs. Rekia Etiko. She's a seasoned and experienced educator with over 12 years experience. She started off her career as a class teacher, rose through the ranks, became a school administrator at NTIC. When she decided to further her career, she left NTIC, became an educational consultant and also a certified life coach with the Archaeology Academy in Scotland. She's also an certified Oracle database administrator. Join me in welcoming Hajia Rekia Etiko to the kitchen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You're welcome to Sahur Kitchen.
Thank you so much.
It is an honor to have you. What would you be cooking for us this morning?
Today I will be making rice and coconut curry chicken sauce.
Coconut curry chicken sauce sounds really fancy. We will have that conversation about formal education versus skills acquisition. We're not necessarily comparing or contrasting them. Anyways, you're the expert. You tell us. So you talk us through your recipe very quickly.
Thank you very much. We have the big bowl rice, very nice, and then we also have ginger. Mm-hmm. We have yellow and green bell pepper, we have red bell pepper, we have some garlic, a teaspoon. We've got chicken here, carrots, about 200 mils or so of coconut milk. We have terra chicken cubes, a tablespoon of corn flour, and diced onions.
Awesome. So how would you like to get started?
I would like to boil the chicken first.
Okay. This pot's served, right?
That's fine.
All right then. So I think we should just set the tone first. What is formal education? Nothing necessarily big, textbook, whatever. And then skills acquisition, what exactly do we expect?
Okay, formal education basically is the kind of education you get from the four walls of a classroom. Mm-hmm. So you go to school, you have a particular scheme or curriculum that you follow, and then you have assessments that move you from one grade to a higher one. So basically that's what
formal education is.
Yes.
Okay.
So we have the seasoning cubes. I'm putting in the seasoning cubes now.
Oh, why did you? Okay, well, chicken and obviously chicken cube. By the way, Terra, we have Terra cubes. They have the chicken, shrimp, and beef flavors.
Okay, so the chicken goes in, and then I have my onions, just a little bit of onions, a little bit of ginger as well, because we'll be using some of it to make the sauce. Okay. A little bit of
garlic as well.
Mm-hmm. Just a little bit. And then
you're not putting any water in it?
I will put just a little bit, maybe just a cup of
I'll get some water. So you've explained what formal education is.
Yes,
skills acquisition.
Basically, skills acquisition is what you do when you go to an informal session. Just a little bit of water, yes, please. Thank you. That's fine. Yes, that's fine.
Okay.
Please, can I get some salt, please?
Sure. Yeah. So Isn't it possible to get soft skills, this skill acquisition while formal action is going on? Don't answer yet. We'll go on a break now. I have some kitchen hacks to share with you. Stay tuned.
Hello and welcome to Sahur Kitchen Hacks, where we show you tricks here and there on how to be a master in the kitchen. My name is Lukman. Now I just finished preparing a really nice meal, and I realized that I chopped a couple of veggies and fruits and they are all open like this. Now I can just put it in the fridge, but the thing is, within a few days it's going to spoil. So I want to show you a neat trick I normally do to keep my fruits lasting longer, most especially when I've chopped them. All you need is foil. So I'm just going to cut a few pieces and just cover the top. I'm going to put this now in the fridge, so I'll see you all next time. Bye for now.
This Ramadan, start your day with the goodness of pig to help you stay nourished through the day. Encourage acts of kindness, big or small, and share love and nourishment with everyone around you. Stay nourished from Sahur to Iftar. Ramadan Kareem.
Peak. Reach for your peak.
Yeah, welcome back. It's still Sahur Kitchen. Chicken is on the fire, getting set to introduce other condiments for the curry sauce. We call it coconut milk curry chicken sauce. It's very plenty CCC. Anyways, so we're discussing formal education versus skills acquisition. We've set the tone for what formal education is and what skills. So I asked the question just for the break. Isn't it possible that we're acquiring certain skills whilst in the four walls of a setting where we're learning this formal education? Before then, what would you like to do next?
Okay, to boil the rice then.
Okay.
Can I get a bowl to empty this way?
Okay. Let me get your bowl. Yeah, so go on. What don't we get?
Basically, now I think due to the current situation in the country and also in the world, there is need for skill acquisition. We have a lot of people who have been to the university and they've also got their jobs, they've got their degrees rather, and then there are no jobs available.
Okay.
So basically the skills that they acquire is what they rely on, and then they have to use that to fend and then move on.
Speaking of skills acquisition, you did hairdressing,
barbing, even cooking, baking, shoemaking, and the rest of them. They're just
but even those ones, you can actually go for formal learning experience for this that you just mentioned.
Yes, I think some schools now have that in the school curriculum, so they've incorporated it in. Some schools have it at the primary level, others have it in the secondary level. Okay. Some others also have at the tertiary level. Now, the good thing is this: if you miss out on all these things, that is the primary, secondary, and the tertiary level, once you get into the youth service, which is the 1-year compulsory program for graduates, you have to learn a skill. So that's the beautiful thing about it. So there is the system is not leaving chance for you not to acquire a skill. So that's where it's really awesome that you can have a formal education at the same time you can also acquire a skill. And
that's for those that are fortunate to go through such schools. Don't forget, Sahur Kitchen is sponsored by TGI District, makers of Terra Cubes. Terra Cubes, they have 3 flavors: beef, shrimp, and chicken flavors. They are also the makers of Big Bull and of course Golden Terra soya oil. This kitchen is also co-sponsored by Right Foods Limited, makers of Biggie sausages, Right sausages, Biggie water, Biggie drinks, and of course Fearless energy drink. I like to have a bottle of Biggie drink in the kitchen while the cooking is going on. You can imagine the curry, chicken, coconut milk, whatever, rice is not anywhere near ready. I'm hungry. I'm going to be munching on my right sausage, washing it down with this, but I won't take too much so that I have enough space to take this down. Yeah, so I know you did say somewhere along the line you are not necessarily for or against either of it. So, and you just said that, so said it now. You like for them to go hand in hand. So,
Yes.
if you happen to go to a school where you don't have the opportunity to combine both, where the curriculum for the formal education is so intense,
Yeah.
how do you juggle that? That's one. How also, when is the best time? Someone is listening and is thinking, okay, my child is still in primary school. When should I start exposing her or him to skills acquisition such that they are well-rounded, and when they are leaving the university, they are, fully cooked and baked for the job market?
Okay, I'll start with the last question. When is the best time? The best time is now. So you don't have to wait. You really don't know what tomorrow holds. So it's better you start now that you have the time.
Yeah.
And maybe the resources. Now, when should you introduce them? When they can talk. Because I think the kids now are
I'm being
so
selfish.
fast.
I know most people, when you're cooking, you don't enjoy eating or
I
snacking.
wouldn't snack because I want my taste buds clear
So-
so I can taste.
Don't worry, I would have it all. The ginger and the garlic joining the
It's okay.
taste.
Can I get this one, please?
Yes, sure.
Thank you.
It's now, time is now for you
Yes,
to
the time
start.
is
the
now, so you need to help the children. We have children who are barely 2 years old, and they're doing so much with the mobile phone or the smartphones. So why don't you, have them use that time to acquire a skill, no matter what it is, even if it's knitting, they can actually, do
A
something.
2-year-old.
Yes. Yes, even with the
Interesting.
computer. Now, most of these things have been digitalized, so
Yes.
they can actually learn. You can install the programs on the computer as well, and then they can start to learn some of these things, and then maybe transfer to prints. So if you have them, then if you have this computer or this gadget, why don't you use it positively for them? So instead of having them play games from morning to night, you can actually install educational softwares for them, and they can use that as well.
Speaking of which, so is it you that determines what skills your child should acquire, or do you involve this child? Do you study the personality of the child to know what skill set to push the child towards?
Now, basically, what you should do as a parent is look at the child and see what the child is interested in. And if you know what the child is interested in, then you can help the child, not push the child.
So it's not you forcing, it's actually
no.
working with the child. We'll go on a break now. When we return from this break, this is where we take you for a trip through the various biggie drinks. Cocktail Boulevard is what I have for you. Stay tuned.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم صلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Babatunde Abdelgani Adegbindi. I work with Lotus Capital Limited. Today, let's look at the topic, what is Islamic finance? So Islamic finance is a form of finance or an alternative form of finance to the conventional finance that focuses on equity, justice, ethics, and fairness. Islamic finance is more interested in how you make money, involved in making profits, making money through profits. That is, you have a part in the risk. You are taking part of the risk. So it's not money on money. So I don't give you 5 naira and tomorrow I say I need 10 naira. That extra 5 naira, what have I done to earn it? This is what Islamic finance is focusing on. That is, how can we eradicate interest? Interest has to be eradicated. Several places in the Quran, especially Surah Al-Baqarah, Allah was clear that we shouldn't do interest, but we can do trade. Trade, which is buying and selling. When I'm doing buying and selling, that means I must buy either commodity or assets, or I must be involved in a business transaction that involves, buying and selling transaction. Economic activity is involved and is also improved. Once Islamic finance is engaged in, you improve economic activity, you improve equity and justice, and fairness is involved. There are some basic principles of Islamic finance. Some of them are riba, like I said, interest. We have to eradicate riba, which is money on money. So the question will be, what is the difference between riba and profit. So riba is money on money, that is making money, extra money on just money without any activity. But profit is making money on transactions, on assets, on economic activity that can give you. So if I say I'm making 10,000 naira, I can say because I am engaged in this business transaction, or because I have contributed to this buying and selling. For example, our mothers that sell at, let's say pepper at mile 2, they buy a basket of pepper, they put it together, then they resell it to we the consumers. That is an economic activity. When they buy the basket, let's say 50,000 naira, they have to repack and resell to the consumers at a markup. Our basic elementary mathematics, cost price is equal to, selling price is equal to cost price plus profit. But the cost price is the amount that you use to bring the assets. Now, the selling price is your cost price plus all the expenses, the transportation, everything involved in bringing the asset to where you need it. That gives you the selling price. So Islamic finance is focused basically on making money in a halal way, in an ethical way, making money from business transactions, ensuring economic activities are improved rather than just making money on money. Let's stop here today. Till next time, we'll meet, inshallah. My name remains Abdulganim Babatunde Adegbeni, saying Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
You're welcome back. It's still the Sahur kitchen, and just before the break, the chicken was on and the rice. So now the chicken is fully boiled. What's going to happen next?
So we're going to make the sauce.
I know, Offset, you're saying something about the difference, that this is normally originally a Thai meal, but you've Nigerianized it.
Okay, originally this is a Thai meal. We should have basmati rice, but big bowl is also equal to the task. That's why I'm using big bowl rice for the rice. Then for the sauce, naturally this is a Thai dish, but because I have Nigerianized it, it's now I put in some bell pepper. That's the green pepper, the red pepper as well. And if it's the Thai dish, you have cilantro in it. You also have you could use oyster sauce if you wish. You could also put a little bit of soy sauce if you are not too particular about the color. So basically that's
interesting. What do you need to do now?
So I need to put in some oil to start with the sauce.
Okay, so that's the soy. So you have the golden terra soy oil. Okay. Perfect for you. And they come in small sachet also. Yeah. So this. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So speaking of the difference, for someone just tuning in, wondering what are we discussing, we're talking about formal education versus skills acquisition. And just before the break, we're at the point where you said, it's never too late to start. Earlier, and what tripped me most was when you said a 2-year-old can actually start learning certain skills.
Yes. Now, for this formal education, for the skill acquisition, now, if you have a 2-year-old, of course, I do not expect that you send your 2-year-old to a vocational school. So the child can actually be at home and learn informally, like from the parents, that's the mother or the father. So if the father is good at one particular skill, you can actually involve the child. For instance, if the mother is a baker, while she's mixing the dough, she could say, okay, you pass me the egg, pass me this, pass me that. And so from there, you would see if the child is really interested. That's what's key. If the child is interested in it, then you can go on. So we're waiting for the oil to get a bit hot. And once it starts to, I can see it's a bit hot. So if you're not sure, you can put in the
onion to test
it. And once the onion starts to bubble, then you can start adding the ingredients.
Because I can hear the bubbles already.
Yes. So
And the rice is almost done
almost done,
already.
yes. We'll just wait
So
for the-
anything else happened to the rice?
No.
It's
But
just
if you wish, you could add some vegetables, broccoli, carrots, runner beans,
sweet corn,
sweet corn,
peas,
peas,
whatever.
everything.
Fancy.
every
knock
vegetable
yourself
you
out.
want, and then you can just steam that and put it as a side
Yeah.
dish, basically. So we have the onion and the onions in already. We have the garlic. You can smell at home. Unfortunately, you can't, but the aroma is already popping out.
Already, and that's
Yes.
one thing about this natural seasoning, which is this garlic and ginger. They add the stingy flavor to your meals and make it awesome. So back to this skills acquisition. There was something you said
Yes.
before the break
Okay.
about involving the children. So no,
This is coconut milk, so I will be pouring in the coconut milk now.
okay. So you talked about involving the children. The parent needs to study, know the child,
Yes.
get the child involved in decision making. So it's not you forcing it down the throat. What if typically, let's be as realistic as possible. So I'm not available to really know these things. I'm not able to pick up the tell signs of what my child may love to do, skills wise. How else can you tap into those hidden talents that can turn to proper skill acquisition and even become, the money-making spinner for your child in the future?
Okay. Now the first thing is this. I want to assume that all kids from maybe 0 to at least 10 level would be attending the basic schools. That's like primary education.
That's
Now, for
if the parents aren't so desperate and sending them off to a boarding school
Yes.
somewhere, because we know there are boarding schools for primary school
primary,
children.
yes. So even if while we do that, while the parents send them off, then you can also work with the school. And when you're working with the school, you talk to the teachers.
Sorry, so you're boiling
Yes,
the
I'm boiling the
coconut.
coconut milk. I want it to get I want it to get hot. Then I can start introducing other ingredients into it. So that's why I'm just waiting. Okay, so you have to speak with the school and with the teachers or the educators in that school. Now those people will act as partners with you. So they will give you feedback. Oh, I realize your child actually likes drawing. I think this is something he will be good at. He's always talking about food in school. He doesn't eat much, but he talks about food. So why don't you think? I'm thinking that he's probably he likes cooking or he likes anything that involves food. So why don't we try and see? So basically these are the things that
The garlic just hit me.
Okay, good. So now let's after that we've put the coconut milk in. I'll put in the carrots so they
Because it
can
needs a longer time to cook, is that right?
not really. I wouldn't cook the carrots. I just want it to boil, and it should be soft, not soft and tender, not too soft. So it doesn't kill the nutrients in it.
Okay.
So basically, we're putting the carrots in. I'll also put in the curry.
Okay, sure.
Just a spoon of curry would be fine, just to give it that
Color, so it's really
Yes,
the
that's
color. That's where
curry.
the curry color comes from.
Yes, that's where the color comes from.
Okay.
So we're putting in the curry right now. A teaspoon would be okay, but let's see if the color changes. It depends on how powerful you want the yellow color to be. But this is not powerful enough, so we'll put
Add a little bit more.
Yes,
Okay.
just a little bit more. We don't want it overpowering because curry has that overpowering taste too.
If I don't like curry, or because I hear some people find the difference between, but also curry, turmeric, they look alike.
Yes, they do.
Don't they serve the same purpose?
Yes, they do. But the difference between curry and turmeric is turmeric has that sharp taste like ginger. It's
Yes.
peppery. It has
Yes.
a peppery aftertaste. So if you wish, you can put turmeric in it. But curry has that aroma that just sends
It's
you.
they're two different
Yes,
things.
so
and
they're two
do-
different things. But you can, for the coloring, yes, you can use turmeric. So
I see you get the color that you want.
Yes, the color I want is already coming out, so I would stop that and put this aside. Now, because I want the carrots to get a bit soft, I'll leave it a little bit more to cook. Yes.
All right. So while we cook, is the rice? It looks like there's no water left in it. What else is going in? The peppers will join in.
Peppers will join in, but that's after I put in the chicken. And once I put the chicken, I put the seasoning without water.
Okay, that's fine. So you're back on the children if they're away from
if
you.
If you talk to the educators now, the educators will help you also shining some lights in and then let you know that, okay, this is what the child is good at, and I think this is what you should be looking at.
Let me twist it a bit. What if the child comes to you and says, I want to be a hairdresser? You know, we have these parents that are still very 19th century. They're not yet in this 21st century. And they don't know you're not going to any hairdressing, anything, and for any reason. How do we talk to, because you have the opportunity, you're an educator, you're the specialist. What do you tell such parents? My child really has approached me and says, you know, I want to learn how to make hair, or I want to be a sports person, or whatever else that doesn't go in line with your own plan for that child. Where do you meet in the middle?
Now, the thing is this, if you have to force the child will do it because you have forced him or her to do it. At some point, there will be a turning point. At some point, later in life, the child will have to go back to what
his passion always is.
He or she is passionate about. So, now the thing is, at that point, that turning point for that child may not be the ideal point. Maybe the child may be struggling with so many things. And then, maybe if the parent is still alive, we'll be able to see how much he has contributed in quotes now, to the child's life. Now, so it will be difficult to watch your child, you know, struggle, because at that point, the child is really an adult and the child is struggling, trying to switch. But as a kid, it would be very easy to be, you know, it would just go, the child will go with the flow. So if you now have the child, you know, transiting at the adult age, you know, at that point probably trying to struggle with paying bills, and you know, it becomes really, really difficult.
And child may start to resent you because you cost that,
yes,
right? So whilst your coconut milk comes to a boil, before anything else, we'll go on a quick break. This is where our chef is going to introduce you to something nice to have for maybe next Sahur or even Iftar, inshallah ta'ala. Stay with us.
Hello and welcome to another Chef Specialty segment, brought to you by TDI Distro, makers of Terra Seasoning Cubes, Golden Terra Soy Oil, and Big Bull Rice. My name is Lukman. Today we are going to be making sandwich cookies. Now for our sandwich cookies, the base is going to be buttermilk biscuits. So here I have butter, I have flour, I have buttermilk, I have sugar and salt, and I have baking powder. Now, your butter and your buttermilk have to be really, really cold. So I put this in the fridge for about an hour. So it's really, really cold. So I'm just going to put this aside for now. So we'll start with our flour and our butter. Just going to put this in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my hand and mix it all in. Then I will add the remaining dry ingredients. So my baking powder is to help it rise. And my sugar, I'm not adding a lot of sugar because it's sandwich cookies. I'm going to put something sweet in between my cookies. So sugar and salt. Mix them again. So now I'm going to pour in my buttermilk. So what I want you to do next is use your hand and just spread it roughly on the table. You put some flour just on the surface, and you take a butter knife, divide it into 4. Then you stack them on top of each other like that. Then you press it down. So before I put it in the oven, what you can do is you can put this in the fridge for an hour, for 2 hours, depending on when you want to prepare it. So before I put mine in the oven, just going to use my finger, some of my buttermilk, just rub it on top. It's going to help give it that brown topping. And that's it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put it in the oven for about 15 minutes at 180 degrees, and you see the beauty. Can you see it? Don't worry about this. This is our crooked one that we did. These are the main ones. Can you see how beautiful they look? So you know that layering that we did? It has made it to have its own layers. So it's almost like puff pastry. Now, what you do is you wait for it to cool. And once it cools down, so you can use buttercream or you can use whipped cream. I have whipped cream here. This, my people, is sandwich cookies. It can be a little messy. So until next time, bye for now.
Yeah, welcome back. It's still the Sahur Kitchen, and just before the break, you wanted the coconut milk to come to a boil. You've added carrots to it so it can get tender.
Yes.
So what's happening next?
Now I would put in the chicken. So the chicken goes in with the stock as well.
Okay.
And after the chicken, I will put in the green pepper, diced, and the red pepper as well.
Okay.
Could you help with the light, please? With the heat. Okay. And after that, just immediately after that, I would mix the corn flour with a little bit of water.
Warm or
no tap
just,
water? Yes.
Okay.
And then introduce that. Now the reason why I'm using the cornstarch is just to make the sauce a bit thick. So if you like your sauce watery, then there won't be need for corn flour. Yes. So after this, I will just stir and have everything cook.
You didn't put in salt. I didn't see you put in salt.
Yes, I will do that just about now.
Okay.
So I'll put in just a little bit of salt to have it taste, for the taste, and also chicken cube.
Because you cook chicken.
Yes.
So at what point would you have put oyster sauce if you had to use oyster sauce or soy sauce or any of the other sauces?
Just before the other ingredients then go in. Like
so when the coconut milk was on with the carrots, you put this sauce in. All right, so we've been talking about formal education versus skills acquisition. There's really no we're not differentiating between them. Rather, what my guests have been talking about is infusing the two, getting your children exposed to both.
Yes.
Preferably as early as possible, as early as 2 years old. Once your child can speak fluently, then it's the time to introduce. And something else she mentioned is about not forcing it on your child. So let's talk more about, this is your area. You're a consultant. So talk me through. I'm just about starting planning my children's education. Okay. What would be the best advice from now till university?
First, keep your child at home till age 3. That sounds very bizarre. But sending or whisking them off to school before 3 years old is not fantastic. It's not the best. But in the situation we found ourselves now, especially in Nigeria, we whisk them off as early as 6 months. Because after the maternity leave, we have to go back to work and so.
So the ideal would be 3 years. So let's try to create the ideal. So we then try to fit in
into
as much as possible.
Now, so after 3, before 3, you would have started seeing some signs. Then after 3, when the child goes to school, it's something you can discuss with the teacher or the educator. And then after that, you can build on from primary through secondary. 11 years old is ideal for just 1 or year 7 as it may be, depending on the curriculum. Now, 11 years old is ideal. 17, 18 is ideal for a university.
Okay.
Yes.
And so in between, where do the skills acquisitions come in?
If the child's school does not have this in the curriculum or in the school program, during every summer holiday, I think that should be July, from July to September, at least 1 month. So you can have that 3 weeks or 4 weeks course or program for your child. And there are all other short courses like 2 weeks, we call them master courses, mastering code. So you learn everything in 2 weeks. So everything is crashed into a program. So within those breaks, like there's a spring break, that's the ones
around
April, Easter period, yes. And during that break, you can also have your child in one of this program as well. So I'm going to go back to the pot. Now the sauce I have made is slightly thick. So you can, it depends on how you want yours. I'm going to have to add a little bit of water just to make it a bit watery, because this is thicker than I would normally have it.
Okay.
So just add a bit of water.
And after that?
And after that, we're done.
All right then. So it looks like we are done here in the kitchen. We'll go off. But before I go, I have something for my guests. Courtesy PGI Industry. We have this cubes for you. Continue to lock in the aroma and bring out the taste in all your meals. Also, courtesy Right Foods Limited, makers of Fearless Energy Drink, Biggie Water, Biggie Drinks, Rights and Biggie Sausages. We have this for you to stay refreshed for Ramadan. Jazakumullah khairan. We're going off to the dining. I'm going to go set the dining table, but let's see what our kiddies are up to in their kitchen. Stay with us.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Mara Mustafa and I welcome you to another beautiful episode of Sahur Kiddies Kitchen. In my kitchen today, I have the Obasa family. Assalamu alaikum. How are you doing today?
Thank you.
Alhamdulillah. What's your name, please? Zinat Obasa. Nice to have you here. Mom, what's your name again?
Sister Ibat Obasa.
Sister Ibat Obasa. Thank you for coming. So, chef, what do you have on your menu today?
Okay, I'm cooking seafood, okra, and oatmeal.
Okay, so kindly take me through your recipe. Quick one.
This is my oats, my okra,
Okay.
red oil,
Seasoning
my
cubes.
my
Terra seasoning cubes.
my blended pepper, my beef, shaki, fomo, and meat,
Okay.
and my
Seafood,
seafood,
shrimp and
crab.
crab. Okay. So, she's preparing oatmeal and seafood okra. Mom, please have your seat. And please, again, no interference. And viewers at home, I hope you're ready, because Kinat here is ready to cook for you. So, I'm also ready. Kinat, your 20 minutes starts now. What would you want? What do you want? You're welcome back. It's still Sahur Kiddies Kitchen, and I still have my young chef Zinat with me in the kitchen. So it's time for me to taste the oatmeal and the seafood okra. Bismillah. Mateo. Okay. Okay. Alhamdulillah. So it's time to score. For presentation, out of 20, I'm giving Zinat 15 out of 20 because she has presented a meal very well and beautifully. For composure in the kitchen, I give Zinat 20 out of 30 because she was well composed and, you know, with a little flaws. And for tasting, I give Zinat 35. She would have gotten more mark if the oatmeal was a bit soft. It's a little bit hard, and every other thing, it's fine. Besides that, the okra, I would have loved to have more pepper in it. That totals to 70 out of 100. MashaAllah, you did well.
Thank you.
Well done. Okay, so Mom, I've scored.
Thank you very much.
So,
Rosetta.
how do you think a performance is?
Yes.
Leaving my, just put my score aside. Tell me your own.
She did try.
Okay, on a scale of 100.
She did try. The oatmeal, as you've said, is not well.
It's not
that
tender.
smooth. It's not tender enough. Then for me, I would have preferred the okra, and it's cooked more a bit. Like, give it more time to cook.
Okay.
But she tried.
Okay. How do you think you performed?
Fine.
Fine. Okay. So I'll leave with this proverb. It is what you teach your child at home, they grow up to do. So, see you another time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh.
I'll take a biggie as well.
Which of them, sir?
Which one is the best?
Okay.
Let's talk Biggie. Let's talk 11 flavors so interesting, so unique, you will think they were made just for you. For the cool kids who break all the rules.
Biggie lemon and lime.
Let's be honest, everyone likes apple. Biggie apple. Two things every Nigerian loves: football and Chapman.
Oh, he loves the fire and what a goal! Oh, I say.
Or maybe you just want the best, no questions asked.
Biggie Cola.
So, which one did you want?
Yeah, welcome back. If you're just joining us, it's still Sahur Kitchen. Our food is ready. I do hope that at least you're almost done with your own cooking, mashallah. We looked at formal education versus skills activity, not necessarily separating between them. It's really where they meet and how we all should get on board in ensuring that we expose our children to both. Now, there's something that I didn't talk about in the course of our conversation. I think it's necessary. Quran studies, Quranic education. Quite a number of us missed that out because we're pursuing kindergarten, primary school, secondary school, university, and all through, not a point in time do we introduce them to Islamic studies or Quran studies. When should that happen?
So, within that period, you can actually start with just the first 10 surahs, and you'll be shocked that they will actually pick it up. The dua.
This is very nice, mashallah.
And so with the dua, you can teach them the basic duas to change their clothes when they go into the bathroom, and so on. So with that, they would learn. So long as the child can talk, I think that's just the best time. And you can start from home, like I said. You don't necessarily have to send the child to school to learn Arabic or to learn the Quran. You can start teaching the first 10 verses or chapters.
And if you so desire, it will be an add-on if you then get a teacher,
yes,
to work with them. All right, sorry, I'm not allowing you to enjoy your meal. You actually taste it. It's really nice, mashallah. Closing remarks. What shall I say? What will be the short punchline to parents, everyone listening this morning regarding how we handle formal education and skills acquisition? You already made it very clear. These two should go hand in hand. Not one is not better than the other. So what will be the best bet for everyone? So if someone has missed it out along the line, how can you?
You can retrace your steps. Look for what your child wants or what your child loves. Go for it, and do not. When I mean do not, I'm really emphasizing on that. Do not push your child.
Don't force them, because I've encountered a medical doctor. She claimed it was her dad's choice, and so she's earned the certificate, giving it to the dad, and now she can start pursuing her life dreams.
So that would be the first thing. And then secondly, support. I mean, to have a good support system cannot be emphasized. So when the support is coming from home, it's like the best thing that can ever happen to the child. Yes. So that's basically what I would say.
Alhamdulillah, this is how far we can go on today's show. I wish that I could invite you to eat this. This is really nice, mashallah, tabarakallah. Anyways, we'll be back same time tomorrow with another beautiful package of Sahur Kitchen. Until then, make the most of today. Let today count. You're just starting off today, determined to make it count, and inshallah ta'ala we'll get a full reward of today's fast. Masalam.